recorded live at 4ZZZ Studios, Meanjin, Brisbane.
On 102.1 FM.
And broadcast across Australia on the Community Radio Network.
You're listening to Zed Games.
Zed Games brings you the best in gaming news, reviews, community and culture. Want to reach out?
Share your hot take?
Or do you just want to share your favourite game?
Find us on socials at ZedGamesAU.
Dig Dug. Man, how good is Dig Dug?
It's okay.
It's been a while. This is Zed Games. I am your host, Paul, and joining me tonight is my wonderful friend, Tom.
How are we doing?
All right. I'm getting through. I have spent the last week and a bit going through Steam Next Fest stuff, which has been overwhelming.
Oh, there's so many good games.
I started at just 100 demos. The downloads got up to about 120-ish, but I've only played 50 of them so far.
Yeah. How much time are you putting into each of these demos?
On the high end, like 40 minutes to an hour. On the low end, some of them don't make 5 minutes.
All right. They've got to hook you.
Yeah. They've got to prove themselves. And sometimes it's just because I'm playing most on the Steam Deck, and some of them don't really suit playing on there. I think one I couldn't get to run. They're like on a little sub list that are like, I'll check them out on my computer one day. Anyway, let's just get some show going. So how about we do a little bit of This Week in News? News. Yeah. Okay, a couple of things this week. If you are a PC player and you've been enjoying Sony porting their single-player games to PC in the last few years, get ready to be disappointed, because it seems, according to Jason Schreier, one of the few actual journalists in our industry, that's coming to an end. They have not seen the returns they want, and they think it's diluting their brand, allegedly. So we're not going to be seeing Ghost of Yūtai coming to PC, or Wolverine, or any of the other upcoming Sony developed titles.
You can give up hope on that Bloodborne PC port.
Yes.
Never happening.
I mean, yeah, and I mean there was other Bloodborne news this week as well, which Bluepoint pitched it just before they got closed down, but I mean,
who would have bought that, right?
I know. Hey, I saw a ROM hat for Zelda Ocarina of Time that was Bloodborne, so you can always do that one. So yes, Sony will be pulling back from putting their titles on PC, allegedly. That will not include sort of upcoming Marathon and other sort of live service pushes that they're doing and such, because it's kind of locked in and they need the player base for that. Their prestige titles apparently just not paying out.
Also interesting considering they just announced Death Stranding 2 on PC.
Yeah.
What like a week and a half ago?
I think Death Stranding 2, they also coming in there. It's like they're involved in development, but it's third-party development, so they still get the call on that. So it's not going to see no Sony games on PC, but their internal studio developed games.
Astrobot's not coming.
Where's the new Astrobot? PSVR 2 hasn't got anything. Well, I mean, it does, but it doesn't have Astrobot. Small news, which is sort of good news as far as I'm concerned, and it's about suing. New York City is suing Valve, and I'm a big fan of Valve. I use Steam a lot. But this is over loot boxes, which I would argue have been a great detriment to the community and the industry. They make Valve a lot of money, but they also make a lot of money without them. So I remember when they first announced that they hired an economist because of the hat trading industry, and they needed to work on the economy and have that properly managed. And this is the wrong thing. If you're having out, because all the CS:GO gun sales and all that, no, this is, if there's a black market for your video game, that's not a positive thing.
Yeah, remember when people used to just think, hey, if we make a game really good, it'll sell well.
I mean, that's not always a good enough reason either. So I got nothing for you. Little news: Resident Evil Requiem has surpassed 5 million units in its first week, which is pretty crazy, especially for horror games.
Single player game with not much post-game content at all.
Yeah.
So, Look, we'll talk a bit more about that game later, but it's kind of Capcom's flagship title now.
yeah, it's slowly like Resident Evil's always been, a known thing in the industry. It's a strong brand, but sales-wise, it wasn't knocking everything off the charts. But now it's just built up, and the last few games have been so accessible and fun to play, and it's really captured imagination. I have plans to play it in the next week. A friend and I play through horror games together, and we haven't done anything in ages because we're dads these days. We're like, okay, were you Silent Hill or Resident? I'm like, Resident.
It's more fun.
We'll laugh more.
Yeah.
Although we still laugh in Silent Hill because we're terrible. Surprising pretty much nobody. High Guard, the incredibly troubled hero, I meant to say. Hero shooter 5v... Oh, there was 3v3 originally, and they upped it to 5v5, didn't they? Which came out about a month and a half, 2
January
months ago?
25th, I believe.
Gosh, they are shutting down on March 12th. They just have not been able to get the population to make it run. It's been kind of a very sad situation, really. A lot of people put in pretty good work. It's not a terrible game or anything, but it became a bit of a joke, and
it's very scattered. Did we talk about the fact that Tencent were actually a big funder for this?
I don't think we talked about that on air, no.
Yeah. So they weren't the total indie darlings that everyone thought they were.
That the Keeleys like to present them as.
Yeah, they were presented as, former staff that used to work at EA, working on they worked together to make this beautiful thing happen.
Beautiful vision of
and it was actually
concepts.
And you're like, well, why would these guys go from making Battle Pass games that are burning them out to making another Battle Pass game? And now you know why.
Different money.
It was, backed by big bucks.
Speaking of games that are shutting down, but in a good way, Let It Die is just getting ready to totally shut down its servers. It was a free-to-play game that came out in...
It was the end of last year, I think, right?
No. You're thinking about the new Let It Die. This is the original Let It Die, which was 2016.
Yeah, I liked this one.
Yeah. So it's shutting down, but they've been working on the offline version. And reading through the details of the offline version, it's not just like, okay, you can still play with the servers down. All like the PvP elements, it's like, well, we can't do that without the server, but you can still do it, but we have bots that are in the game now. There's like the seasons you can't do, and obviously anything that was like a time-saving payment thing, it's like, well, there's no currency in the game anymore. But other than that, the game's pretty much intact.
Yeah.
Which is good. And they literally are saying, for preservation and such, and people that enjoy it, they deserve to keep playing it, which is kind of exactly what we want to see from live service games when they're shutting down.
Yeah.
So great work on that one. I think the new Let It Die, I saw someone talking about it today. They tried to play, but it literally had 3 players on Steam.
Oh.
So
well,
I don't think that's doing very well.
Yeah. As someone who's a very niche Grasshopper manufacturer developer fan, I spent a good amount of time on Let It Die 1, really enjoyed it, and then hearing a second one came out, I just did not have the energy for it.
Oh, yeah, well, there's 3 now, because there's that Deathverse one in the middle.
Oh, gosh.
And the thing is, I like Let It Die, but the free-to-play aspects just rubbed me the wrong way, and I dropped it almost immediately. So a version of it that doesn't have that, maybe that's exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Other quick news, I just thought I'd drop this here. Renegade X has hit version 1.0. What is Renegade X, you may ask? This is getting very niche. You know Command & Conquer?
Yeah, I know about that.
Yeah, the old RTS series. Well, they made a spin-off game back in the, some early 2000s called Renegade, which was a third-person shooter, but you could jump between units, and it was kind of way ahead of its time, but also pretty janky. And so, let me get my years right now. A group of modders got together in 2006, and over the years, they've been releasing different parts of the multiplayer and the single player, and it's complete.
Hey.
They have completely rebuilt the game in Unreal Engine, and it's free, and you can go and grab it, and it looks pretty neat, honestly. But that's just one of the things I can't believe in the industry, that a team of people will dedicate literally 2 decades to restoring a very interesting but very niche game.
Yeah.
Great. I love it.
It's a passion project.
Yeah,
Comes
very
to
much
fruition.
so.
It's good.
Yeah. Cool. Just a couple of game releases in the next few days. Now, one of them, I was wrong. I thought it was tomorrow, but everyone's playing it today. That Pokemon game. The Pokepedia.
Pokopia.
Yeah. It's Oh, I should read better. When it was like
Pokepedia is probably some sort of
wiki. I thought it was just supposed to be like a filling out a book. And like, isn't that all of them?
No.
But no, that makes way more sense because it's like a lifestyle game, isn't it?
Oh, this one, yeah. It's almost like a Dragon Quest Builders crossed with Viva Pinata.
Oh. And aren't you a Ditto?
Yeah, you're a Ditto that's taken a human
creepy.
form.
Oh,
which is what we've always wanted.
I'm not a Pokemon fan, but actually, now that you have just described it as that crosses over a bunch of things I like, and maybe I need to look closer. So that is out as of today on Switch 2. Otherwise, coming out tomorrow, Marathon is coming out. That's for PC, PS5, and Xbox Series X and S. And I've actually been hearing really good things. Quite a bunch of people I know played the beta over the weekend and bought it. So,
wow.
Planet of Lana 2, Children of the Leaf is coming to pretty much everything, including last generation consoles. Slay the Spire 2 is entering early access on PC. And Pokemon at the Inventory is coming out for PC, Switch, and PS4. Odd list. Also, that game came out like 15 years ago?
Yeah, featuring, this is the one with the heavy and strong bad?
Yeah, strong bad. Tycho from Penny Arcade and Max.
Yeah.
From Sam and Max. Because like the licenses fell off and you couldn't buy it anymore. So they've just redone the licenses and re-releasing it.
But just the first one, not the second one?
Just the first one. The first one you could get a Max hat for TF2. We were talking about the hat economy before. I sold that for about $150 US.
Hey, how about that?
So I'm not, in that case, I liked money. And next week on the 11th, we have a cool little 3D platformer called Mr. Sleepy Man.
Yes.
And a PC game, which I actually played in Steam Next Fest, Crab Meat, which is from an Australian developer, which is a bit of that sort of iron lungish, like you're doing work and literally out on an ocean this time as well, but it's horror and things are not as
so like a scary deadliest catch.
Yeah, it's pretty funky actually. But that pretty much brings us to the end of this week in Gaming News.
Yeah.
Okay, speaking of exciting things this week, both you and I discovered today, we're excited about a game that came out yesterday or the day before, Esoteric Ebb.
Yes.
So Esoteric Ebb is basically if you took Disco Elysium and, wrote it to be a bit funnier, and you just dropped it into Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah.
And it is the closest I've ever had to just like the feeling of having a funny DM working with you in a D&D campaign, whereas it's not all combat or anything, it's mostly just faffing about, and it's awesome. Okay, we are going to go into review now, and it's brought to us by the Spooky Tom. Go to get you when you least suspect it. Don't trust him. Yeah.
Why are you saying don't trust me? I'm about to give a review. It's supposed to. This is my actual opinion on the game.
I'm just having a wonderful time, Tom.
All right. Well, my name is
Resident Evil Requiem.
Mess me up now. So Resident Evil 9 Requiem. I will start this review with my only real criticism for the game. RE9 is a people pleaser.
Yes.
So it feels, whilst it can feel both fresh and familiar, it doesn't quite give you as much. I want more.
Yeah.
So that's the issue. It does some things really well, but I want more. Capcom clearly understands that there's like a broad spectrum of people who enjoy the Resident Evil franchise and all the different wonderful horror things it does. And they've done their absolute best to meet the expectations of so many different people. And
the people that want the creepy baby style scenario, the people that want the wild action, the people that want the silly sandwiches,
or the esoteric puzzles, all of that.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be something for everyone who is a fan of Resident Evil at some point.
I'm going to put this crystal in this mailbox to open up.
And you're going to have to collect 3 parts of this key that's going to open the one door. But it's fun though.
If only you had a gun.
Yeah. Well, in Requiem you play as 2 different characters throughout the story. So you play as the new character, Grace Ashcroft, who is a very young and very green FBI agent. So one of her first few times out in the field, she's investigating the mysterious murder of her mother. And you also get to play as the fan favorite, Leon Kennedy from
Yay.
Resident Evil 2, 4, and 6.
Oh, God. Actually, before we started recording, I mentioned that I played all the numbers, but I never completed 6 because that game is very bad.
Yeah, I could not touch it. I played through Leon's story, though.
Oh, yes.
Which was the best offering of them, but it was... don't play Resident Evil 6. They'll remake it in 10 years' time.
Oh,
It'll be fine.
actually, yeah, that will be good.
Yeah. So as you start the game, you're actually prompted with a decision where it says, this game is playable in both first-person and third-person perspectives. And the game will actually recommend to you that you play through Grace's sections in first person and Leon's in third person. So I said, yes, I'll take the chef's recommendation. That sounds good to me. And you can see why they've made that decision. So in Resident Evil 7 and 8, they played in first-person perspective, and you can kind of see... And they were scarier games. Resident Evil 7 was very scary. 8, less so. It was more...
One section, and
one
the rest
section
was just very fun.
It was very fun, a little more goofy and fantasy gothic horror. So this time they're like, yeah, first-person is better for horror, right? So when you're playing as Grace in first person, you are scrounging for bullets. You've got a very limited inventory. You've got an item box that you can store things in. And the main meat of her story is her scrounging around for keys and answers inside a eccentric abandoned hospital, semi-abandoned, where everyone's turned into zombies.
Yeah, except for the secret maze underneath, and of course the factory of fish.
Yeah, you have each of your different. It's in true Resident Evil style. There are 3 biomes.
Yeah, if there was an actual fish factory in there, I would both be like, wow, can I pick it? But also not surprised.
Let's not spoil too much. But so as Grace is exploring, she's managing her inventory. She's scrounging for supplies to graft bullets and other goodies to use to kill these zombies. And these zombies are scarier than they've been in a while. They're a lot tougher, and they still have a shred of their humanity left in them. So depending on what their role was or what their job is as a human, they still maintain aspects of those characters. So there isn't...
sort of like, I mean, I don't know how up on your zombie lore is, but like the Romero thing where zombies sort of like, they just like gravitate towards things they used to do.
Yes.
And everything. Yeah.
For example, there is a maid zombie who, if you've obliterated a zombie into a giant blood puddle, you might walk back into that hallway and she's in there scrubbing the floor with her bare hands saying, "Who made a mess?" And then like when she grabs you, instead of taking a bite out of your neck, she's scrubbing your face with her fingers. And
as soon as you started that scenario, I was very happy. I need to play this.
Oh, yeah. And, like, the zombies are, like, screaming at you, "Get away, get out of here," as they bite into your flesh. And you're like, this is
That's
fun.
a nice touch,
And it's something they haven't really done before, like, talking zombies. You've had infected people that are, like, the bosses that have the good virus.
When you've got the Los Plagas and everything.
Yeah, the good stuff. But, yeah, so that's pretty fun. And they're very tense sections of the game, playing as Grace. So in the early part, they cut in with some Leon sections. Now, Leon, being a big veteran of zombie roundhouse kicking and
Suplexing
gun kata and all that sort of stuff, his sections are more reminiscent to the Resident Evil 4 remake, but they are hardcore, high-octane zombie-killing action. He has all the guns that you could want. He has cool roundhouse kicks. Instead of his knife in the earlier games, he now has a hatchet that's indestructible and can do cool zombie axe moves. There is a scene early on in the game where you were just fighting down an open street and killing zombies while there's survivors running either side of you.
Yeah.
And then he's making the worst, corniest lines.
Oh, thank you.
Which is like so good. There's a scene early on where the bad guy is like interrogating him and he's like, "Don't you have any questions for your investigation?" And Leon's like, "Yeah, I just got one. When's the last time you brushed your teeth?" And you're like, come on, dude. So like they're leaning into like the silly parts of it as well as like the zombie action stuff. And that kind of takes more of like a more prominent role later in the game.
Yeah.
So my issue with the game here is that whilst the Grace sections at the start where you're creeping around and fighting like a couple of zombies here and there, I love those bits, and it's one of my favorite parts of each of the modern Resident Evil games. But you normally have that satisfying progression where you start to get more weapons and you get more abilities and
you become more
stuff.
competent throughout the game.
In this one, it kind of feels like they've skipped to having the cool stuff pretty early. And skipping straight to Leon's stuff, so you don't have that linear progression. So
it's more of a switch back and forth than a progression forward.
Yeah, there's a little bit of stuff that she gets later on, but yeah, it's mostly that.
Is the two stories? Is it just like story beats they change, or is it like can you change more freely between the two people?
It's all linear.
Yeah.
So you're not swapping between them. Occasionally, there are some items that you can maybe leave for Leon if you're playing as Grace, because he'll sweep through a section after her. But you're better off not ever doing that because he's got so much stuff. He's so good.
And Grace really needs
Grace is struggling right now. She needs those 3 bullets that you've left in a desk drawer. Overall the game is really good. It's a tight experience. It's only roughly like 10 hours or so.
Nice.
Not a lot of post-game content, but
they've been really good in the last few games of like launching without really anything post, but then having really substantial DLCs anyway. If you want stuff. Yeah.
I would not be surprised if in a month or so we get an announcement that they're bringing in their mercenaries which is Resident Evil's score attack thing, where it's you do cool time-based score combos. Resident Evil 9, it deserves the hype. I almost would prefer a separate Grace game and a separate Leon game, but this is pretty good too.
This is pretty good too, yeah.
Yeah. Zombies.
Pretty good 9.
Good monsters.
The 9 is the G in the Requiem, isn't it? I think I'm pretty sure.
The G in Requiem?
Yeah, it was a Q.
No, it's in there. You just gotta look hard for it.
The Reg wheel.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me. I'm terrible.
Netherworld's Lost Souls Karaoke welcomes you to sing for your soul on Soul Sundays. Spend your Sunday afternoon in a different kind of karaoke, a heavily themed purgatory waiting room and bar in Fortitude Valley. For walk-ins only, you can haunt any room for an hour of cursed karaoke for just $10 a head. Every Sunday at Netherworld, proud sponsors of 4ZZZ.
This is Zed Games. I'm Paul. That is Tom. And now we're going to do not a review. Today, I'm just going to talk about a bunch of random things because I mentioned it early in the show. I was playing a bunch of Steam Next Fest demos. And what it's done is, one, it's made a liar out of me. Because one of the things I said at the beginning of this year, I don't do resolutions, but I was like, I play too many different things. I need to focus on what I'm going to do. Because I can't be playing hundreds of games a year. So I've failed utterly.
Yeah, we all knew you were lying.
Yeah, I just obsessively went through the list, and anything that captured my imagination for any reason at all, I would just add it to a list. And so what I've brought along here is just a couple of games that stood up for me that maybe didn't have the most attention towards them. A couple of bigger ones. Yeah. Actually, I will start with one of the bigger ones. When big, I'm using quantitatively big compared to
notable.
The new game by the team that made Crosscode.
Okay.
This is Alabaster Dawn. Basically, it is a action-adventure game with some cues from... I'm not even sure where to put it. Like, it's certainly more action-heavy than A Secret of Mana or something like that. But it is, one, absolutely gorgeous, and the combat is both really, really interesting and just fun and fast. And, like, lots of options. And at least in the demo, you unlock new stuff, like, constantly. So it's like, okay, I've got a bow. 1 minute later, I've got a charge shot on my bow. Oh, now if I use the bow without aiming it, now I fire 4 homing things. Oh, but if I do it after a dodge, and it just builds up and up and up. But it's really cool. It's really just worth it if you like that. It's a team that, if you've never played Crosscode, it was a really imaginative, like, MMO, but it's a single-player game, but you're in an MMO world, and lots of, like... It's basically... what they were doing with that game, they've done with this game, but made it even better. It just controls better, it's smoother, it looks slicker, everything about it. And it's a new world, new story. And the story so far is weird, which is what I want. Because I have no idea what's happening.
Weird as in dreamlike, or weird as in...
No, weird as in just, it sort of starts with you know, you're playing a more powerful character, which is pretty normal in games, and you go and taking down a bunch of demons, and then some weird stuff happens, and then you awaken. It sounds pretty standard now that I say it out loud, but it feels weirder in game. Other things that stood out, just a little one. There's Wanderburg, which is just a Vampire Survivors like, except it's crossed with Howl's Moving Castle. So it's probably the most attractive looking Survivors style game that I've seen, where you are a castle running around building things up, and it plays really well. It's fun. On the slightly weirder side, though, one of my favorite games I played was called Crawling Angels. Crawling Angels is a little Inferno-like. So as far as I'm aware, that's a first. It's just copied sort of Little Inferno gameplay. Little Inferno was a game where you just burnt stuff in a fireplace.
Yeah.
But you had to burn them together, make different synergies to get more stuff, and it was, you know, comment on, you know, capitalism and classes and stuff like that overall. This one's going more into the horror route, is that you're a kid that's sort of been put onto a train that is somehow also a carnival.
Oh, spooky.
And you spend the game torturing the forever chicken.
Oh.
Yeah, and for, you know, people may not want to be hurting an animal, it's very quickly revealed that this forever chicken is not a real animal. It's stuffed and...
Yeah, it looks like a sewn up...
yes, that said, I'm pretty sure it's going to end up having like the soul of your dead mother or something in it. Yeah. But, you know, we'll find that out in the full game.
It could be sewn up using like human body skin.
Oh, hopefully.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just played really well. It was really funny script with it. And yeah, it's a very easy game where you're like playing around with physics objects and and just grinding through, finding new combinations and interesting things. And as I say, I haven't seen like another game take that Little Inferno style gameplay before. And this one's more narrative driven. There's quite a few characters in it and stuff. Yeah. And I want to see where it goes. We had there is a game called Titanium Court. And that is very, very, very hard to describe. I tossed up whether I would say the name then. It's kind of like a strategy match 3 game in...
Looks like an old MS-DOS thing.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah, it looks like CGA graphics, like the bright pink, the aqua, and but it is so slickly put together. Like, it looks basic, but then the actual way that the animation is presented, everything in game, it's very like, you know, like a dog will be running across the screen and it's like it's in its own window, but it's bounding along and stuff like that. The gameplay is like, you know, there have been resource management match 3s before where it's like, oh, well, I need to get some more wood so I can get some more farmers to do this and everything. But also, by making match 3s, it makes more things come down, and some of those things are actually enemy castles. So by getting a lot of points, you might actually get a lot of enemies, and there's all these other synergies going on. Plus, it's really funny and like very self-referential, and it's very hard to describe, but I would very much recommend it if you like a weird sort of like, I'm going to just put it under match 3 even though it is not, or with roguelike elements. Check out Titanium Court. It is legitimately funny and just surprising at every turn with that. How am I going time? Because I could just rattle off things. The good thing, like, really, what the last week did was just make me excited about upcoming games again, because I just ran into so many things that were fun. Insectile. It's Pokemon, except with like a inventory management style battle system. So enemies appear on a grid, and all of your Pokemon, they're insects, they have a shape, and you've got to put them on there to overlap the enemies and do certain effects to it. Simple, great, so plays really well.
Bugs have shape synergy. That's fun.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Insectile, because they're all tiles. Oh, it's amazing. Like, I just had a lot of fun. There was a game, I don't think it was technically part of Next Fest, but it was a demo that just came out at the same time. Trifolium. It's a puzzle game, a Sokobon style thing where you're just moving around a grid, you know, trying to get
pushing boxes and stuff.
Yeah, no pushing yet. But what you are is you're a giraffe's neck.
Okay.
And so you're going along your giraffe head, and you move a block, and you can go up and then go back on yourself and everything to get height and stuff like that. And I do sort of like the first little area. It's a tutorial like this, like here's how you go. And then this game that won and lost me the fastest ever. No, sorry, other way around. Lost and won me. You get sort of the end of the little first section that's teaching you things, and you realize right at the beginning of the game, you actually needed to make a little bridge with your body to get out of the area. And I saw this, and I went, that's like 400 moves ago. And I'm just near like Alt F4ing.
Yep. Just take that.
And then it says, just click on your body back at that point. And you click on it, and it reverses the whole game to that point. You make the bridge, and then you say, okay, now go back. Shoots all the way back to where you were. So the game is actually, it's quite modular, but when you get to the end of like the demo, you look back and there are like kilometers of giraffe neck going around this one area. And I'm like, I'm amazing.
Well, I mean, I guess like it would just record all the inputs anyway, right? So they could just kind of transpose those.
It's when it has to like interact. So there's sort of this cornered off areas and say like, well, we'll record your action in here, and then you can come back and replay it whenever you need to just solve that area again.
And what's that called again?
That one was called Trifolium. So yeah, demos are cool. Most of these demos are still live. You can go back and look at the list. I think currently Steam has a like the top games of it still out. So that's cool. And that pretty much brings us to the end. So we're just going to say goodbye, everybody!
Thanks for listening to Zed Games.
If you'd like to listen to more, you can find us on the Community Radio Plus app.
Or find us on socials at ZED Games AU.
See you next time.